Welcome to Science Access. In today's class, I'm going to be teaching you quadratic equation. I'll be teaching you the formula method. It's a very simple topic. If you know you're new to this channel, please kindly subscribe. Now, the formula you need to solve in this is just minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So, for the formula method, once you know this formula, that's all you need to know. Just apply it and you get your answer. So let's take the first question. Let's assume that you are asked to solve a question like this: y squared plus 6y plus 8. This is a quadratic equation. You're asked to solve a question like this. What do you need to do? It's simple. All right, let's say a, in this case, there's an invisible one here, so a is 1. Here, b is actually 6. b equals to 6. Then c is 8. So apply your formula. All right. There's an invisible one here. So a is 1. We have 6. B is 6. And c is what? 8. So just apply it to this formula. So minus b. What is b? B is 6 minus 6 plus minus. Then square root b square. What is b again? 6 square minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 8, all over, you have 2a, 2 times what? 1. So let's just do our normal operation. So we now have minus 6 plus minus, now c squared is 36 minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 8 is what? 32. So now I have 32 all over 2 times 1 is what? 2. So if you carry out this subtraction, you have minus 6 plus minus. Now, if you carry out this subtraction, you now have 4 here, all over 2. Now, square root of 4, what will you get? Minus 6 plus minus. Now, if you now have plus minus what? 2, all over 2. Now, here is when we just divide it into 2 places. So we now have minus 6. First one, you take the plus 2 all over 2, or minus 6 minus, second one is minus, right? Minus 2 all over what? 2. So minus 6 plus 2, we now have minus 4 all over 2, or minus 6 minus 2 is minus 8 all over 2. So if you divide this, you now have y is equal to minus 2, or y is equal to minus 4. So this is our answer. It's a very simple topic. Let's just take one more example, then I'll give you an assignment. So we have, let's assume, for example, now we have 5p squared is equal to, for example, 14p, getting in plus, let's say 4. All right? So, and you're asked to solve a question like this, what will you do? It's still simple. There is no big deal regarding that. What you need to do is just take this to this side, take this to this side. So we now have 4p squared. Now, if 14p crosses the equal to sign, become minus 14p. And if this crosses the equal to sign, become what? Minus what? 4. So you can now apply your normal formula. Remember, the formula is here. So let's just, so the first thing there again, a is, in this place is 4. B is actually minus 14. And C, sorry, C here is 4. Okay, C is actually minus 4. So just put it into your formula and get your answer. So let's put it into the formula. Minus B there. So we now have minus bracket minus 14 plus minus root. Now, minus 14 square minus, now we now have 4 times, what is our A? Times 4 times, what is our C? Then we have 4AC. So our A here is actually 4. Then what is, we now have 4 minus 4 times A, which A is 4. Then what is our C? Our C is actually minus 4. So now have bracket minus what? 4. Okay. Always take note of the sign. Be careful with sign. Very important. Then we now have 2 times A, right? 2 times 4. So you solve. Now this minus will multiply this minus to become plus. So we now have 14 plus minus. Now if you square this, what will you get? Definitely minus times minus will become plus. So 14 square will now have square root of 196. Now, minus 4 times minus 4 times 4 is actually minus 16. Now, minus 16 times minus 4. So you can use your calculator to do that. Minus 16 or negative 16 times negative 4. So you have negative 64. So you have positive 64. So you have positive what? 64. So definitely minus times what? Minus is what? Plus. So you should know that from the beginning. Then this time this is actually what? 8. So add. Alright, so now have 196 plus 64. What will it give you? Give you 260. So now have 14 plus minus square root of what? 260 all over 8. So let's look for the square root of this value. In some cases, you may use the normal solved form, but let's just solve it to the simplest. If you want to use solved form, there's a way you do that, but let's just solve it to the simplest. So you now have 16.12. So you now have minus 14 plus minus 16.12 all over 8. So here is when we now do our usual work. So we now have 14 plus 16.12 all over 8, or 14 minus 16.12 all over 8. Okay. So to do your calculation here, you now have 30.12 all over 8, or to do here, you now have negative 2.12 all over 8. And your final answer in this case is now divide 8. So P in this case is equal to 3.765, or P is equal to minus 0.265. Now take note. This is when if they don't ask you to leave it in solid form. If they ask you to leave it in solid form, since you get fraction from this place, you have to leave it in solid form. All right, there is an easy way to do that. Let me clean the board and do it for you. All right. So if you ask to leave it in solid form, your calculator can actually do that for you easily. Using your Casio 911 calculator, just look for the square root of this to give you in solid form. All right. So just look for your square root of 260. So it will give you your answer. The answer will actually be in solid form. So you now have 14 plus minus 2 root 65 all over what? 8. Your calculator will give you your answer straight up. So you can watch my video on solve to know how to do some of these little things. So either way is a very simple question. Some questions have been displayed on the board. So you just solve them, send your answers to take a picture of your answer, send it to the email being displayed on the board, or you can just drop your answer in the comment section. Thank you for watching.